He's the epitome of grit. It oozes out of him. And how can you not cheer him on? How can you not want him to succeed?
I didn't have a computer or a laptop. I'm working 2 jobs just to make ends meet. I had no internet service at home. And also during class, I have to take my wife to work. These are just like the challenges that I'm going through. I just felt like I have to do what I have to do. Everything was good. I could use my phone, but then we started doing work on Code Academy. And I remember trying to go on Code Academy from my phone and it pretty much said, no, you need a computer for this. I used to go to the library in Chester, Pennsylvania. Because of COVID, I remember them telling me I could only be there for 1 hour. I was like, how am I supposed to do my work if I can only be here for 1 hour? I don't have any internet service at home. I can't get nearly half of the work I need done in an hour. So finally, my professor, he mentioned, he said, yeah, you can actually contact Generation. They may be able to send you a computer. I went on the link, I requested the computer. I've been promised many things. You almost get to the point where you say, okay, let me call their bluff. I remember just driving to my mother's house from Philadelphia to New Jersey. And when I saw the package, I saw the box and I saw the laptop, I just couldn't believe it. For me, it was like the greatest blessing gift in the world. Like, wow, they sent me a computer to do this work. This is only gonna help me be able to help my family, like to get a better job. Like they didn't ask me for a dime.
So when I saw that he landed that job, I was not surprised at all because I was like, okay, so someone else just saw all the talent that I did. He got this before the program, but typical Ihsan because he takes initiative. So that's him. He does not wait for an opportunity or he does not wait for anything to fall in his life.
The program hasn't even ended yet. And I've been fortunate and blessed that I have a job now. Just the days seem brighter now. They seem more exciting. But now I've been fortunate, I've been blessed that I've now, been offered a job, and this was a great experience.